Opendoor is maybe the one AI stock that is so much undervalued. Okay, we will talk about another deep dive into the earnings, and there is something that he said is so much more important than marketing.
Welcome to the game, I'm the Wolf of Dubai.
So welcome to a brand new video. If you don't know who I am, like 40% of all my viewers, they are not subscribed. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and do it now. Thank you. So with that said, to introduce myself, my name is Danny, okay? And we look for stocks that we can go very early on and have a massive result, okay? I did this with many stocks before, like Tesla, Nvidia, and so on. But I believe that you can be early on some big turnaround companies. You can be, early on a growth stock. You can be early on a stock that is just coming into a momentum, sentiment, or a big turnaround. And I think category 3, Opendoor, is exactly there. Before we diving into the first clip, I would also recommend you to check out xtendaytrading.com. We are absolutely killing it. We just came from like 1 or 2 weeks ago, we just ended a 4-week 100% win rate for all our members, which was insane. That just shows you how good we are in trading. And we do everything for you. You just have to switch on our software. We do the buying, the selling in your portfolio. We use only 5% of your portfolio for each trade. Very conservative. We have only day trades, so we never have overnight risk. So it's insane. Check it out. And let's dive into the first video right now.
They proved that what we are doing is working. The bets and the actions we've taken are the proof points we need to know we can get to profitability. So we're going to invest in product and then growth.
Great. Our next question comes to us via video submission from Anthony Pompliano.
Hey Kaz, hope you and the Opendoor team are doing great. My question today is about artificial intelligence. Obviously, this has become really pronounced in the market, but what are you guys using it for internally, and how should that change the customer experience in the Opendoor product moving forward?
Thanks, man. I think the best example I can give you for AI use is what's happening at Opendoor in underwriting. Give me some rope. I love football. I think it's a great sport, but I hate the fact that in any given football game, there's about 11 minutes of football and 3 hours of not football dressed up as football. And when I got here, Opendoor's workday was kind of the same. Like a lot of not work dressed up as work, a lot of toil that humans should not do anymore. Now, look, every company says AI. It's like the buzzword of the day. And honestly, a lot of it sounds to me like BS. Look, real estate is basically the last industry that is untouched by technology, where we pretend humans have a better sense of what an asset is worth than a model that's been trained on decades of data. And for a long time at Opendoor, we pretended that was true too. But machines are better at some things than humans. Look, humans do taste. Machines do ETLing data, creating documents. Machines do math. Here's my principle. Humans do humans work, and machines do machines work, right? And like human work is the work that machines cannot competently do yet. So what can't they do yet, for example? The last mile of our work they can't do yet. So the house that backs onto a highway. The machines are bad at valuing that asset. That's where human judgment comes in. Our problem at Opendoor was never that we had humans in the process. The problem we had was that we had humans doing the wrong part of the process. So what have we changed, right? Our analysts are no longer doing valuations today. They're auditing what AI has prepared. They're working on evaluating the output rather than doing paperwork to prepare the input, right? To go back to football, this is fun. AI kind of lets us run a no-huddle offense faster and more efficient, but the QB still calls the plays. So I think you ask, what should investors expect? Like naturally what customers should expect first, because that's actually more important. Customers should expect a fair and fast offer with fewer errors. Investors should expect declining operational expense as a portion of our revenue, like we talked about, and a company that doesn't move as slow as the San Francisco BART. So, and there's also a separate thing. I think there's a key thing folks don't appreciate about AI. AI constitutionally destroys some businesses and improves others, right? If you're a point solution selling SaaS, I feel sorry for you. But if you deal with a real world where the primary problems are pricing and operational complexity and variance, AI is basically like manna from heaven. It's the thing we need to make the business work. I'm going to stop now.
Great. Our next question comes to us via video submission from Catherine M.
Hi, I'm Catherine Morgans from Portland, Oregon. I became a shareholder in Opendoor in 2021. I was inspired to invest in the company following my experience using Opendoor to sell my home. It was the most streamlined and painless home selling experience that I've ever had. And I cannot imagine, should I ever need to sell a home again in the future using any other option. I've been following the progress of Opendoor mainly via the Datador Discord. And it's been very thrilling over the past 6 months to see all of the innovation, especially with the improved implementation of AI to enhance operations and sharpen modeling. So, as far as I'm concerned, things are looking very good on the, let's call it the software front. My question has to do with, let's call it the human front or the customer front. And that is, how do we get to the point where sellers think, I'm going to try Opendoor first before even considering going via a realtor? How do we turn that corner where Opendoor becomes the default first option that people try when they're ready to sell their home?
Yeah, that's a great question. Defaults are like incredibly powerful. And usually folks talk about defaults the way they talk about brands. You use a Kleenex, I Venmo my friends, I put a Band-Aid on my kids' legs basically every night. I want you to Opendoor your home. But brand is just another word for reputation. And reputations are earned backwards, not forwards, right? You can't spend your way into having a great brand. Otherwise, all of you would be watching me right now on Quibi. Look, selling your home is one of the most important financial decisions for average American families. Selling a home it's an act of trust, right? And historically, folks have placed that trust in people, not software. Opendoor exists to build software worthy of that trust. And to become trusted, you need to have lots of people use your product, lots of people be delighted by your product, right? So my favorite example of this is like Jeff Bezos and Sam Walton, right? The best marketing is a product that delights you. Jeff Bezos didn't spend money on advertising. He spent money on making the product fair and fast. Same with Sam Walton. So for us, if we want to be the first place people go to, we need to kind of earn that same level of trust. And that for us starts with the offer. The offer is a product. It needs to be accurate, fair, reliable. It needs to feel great. And if I'm being honest, we're not the default yet, but we're on the right track. I know we're on the right track. Let me tell you why. In markets that we've been operating for a while, in our mature markets, 20% of folks who go on to list their home before they call a person, they try Opendoor.com. That's the beginning of looking like a default, right? As we expand more markets, we'll get there. But so how do you become the default? That was your question, I think. I realize I've been talking for a really long time. So in order to become a default, you have to do a few things. First, you have to be available. At the end of last quarter, Opendoor wasn't available everywhere. So we expanded all over the lower 48. We're available to almost everyone right now. Second, you have to remove every point of friction, right? Opendoor needs to make a fair offer, a good offer, a real offer fast. Trying Opendoor needs to be a delightful experience for our sellers. And last, you need to consistently deliver value. You need to be a fast transaction, better pricing, great services, including an amazing mortgage product. And our new unit economics help us do that, right? Better unit economics means better offers build trust. Defaults follow trust, and trust follows great products.
So as you can see, he said that AI is something to incorporate right away. Why it's so important for OpenAI? Well, they want to be profitable. Profitability means that you need to be efficient. You need to have less humans work on the same task. And then you have, almost the perfect timing, right? Like there couldn't be a better timing for AI going mainstream into companies when now Opendoor is actually, they have even the similar name, right? OpenAI, Opendoor, right now. But I'm saying that I believe that it's like the perfect time. And I think that was also the reason why Kaz, the new CEO, came to the company. I think that he thought like, okay, the company has a huge retail community. He believes the stock can be quite dramatically higher because he got only paid when the stock was maximum higher. Then you also are turning around a company that has a lot of costs, but you also understand that AI is now the solution for all of that, okay? For most tasks, this is the most important thing. And I think this is why, Anthony in this video was asking this question because it's so important for the future of the company. And in the second clip, you have seen that when the woman talked, she said something very, very important. She said she was a customer first, she loved the process, and then she became an investor. This is the same way like people had the Tesla car and then they became an investor. People used Robinhood as a broker and then became investors. And this is a very, very powerful thing. And on top of that, Kaz told us that it's important for him to create a great product because once this becomes a standard, once it's the very first thing you think about when you want to sell your home in America, that you say like, you know what, I want to check what Opendoor, and the experience must be seamless, right? And this is the beautiful thing that they are working on. That it's absolutely insane. I love it. So let me know if you own and how much you own of Opendoor. And I obviously see you tomorrow for a brand new video because the grass is greener always on the other side.